Stuber stars Dave Bautista and Camille Nanjiani, and it's about a cop who has to use an Uber driver to taxi him around Los Angeles for a day while he tracks down the criminal who killed his partner. Bautista's the cop, Nanjiani's the driver. I wasn't really excited for this. The trailer looked just okay, and I've seen the trailer a lot. I mean, a lot. I remember I used to love seeing trailers in the cinema, but that was years ago when I would go like maybe once a month, and I didn't have the internet, so I didn't really know what movies were coming out until I went to the cinema, and holy shit, they made a Spider-Man movie? Or, holy shit, they made a new Batman movie. I didn't have the internet in my house until like 2006. Is that child cruelty? Well... But now that I go like 3 times a week, I start to hate seeing the same trailers over and over again. It almost makes me not want to see the film out of spite. Also, they keep playing a shortened version of the trailer in my gym, so I've heard all the best jokes, at least according to the reaction of the audience in my screening, just over and over again. Also, although I love Dave Bautista in Guardians of the Galaxy, and he was pretty cool as a silent muscle in Spectre, I didn't know whether he could actually co-lead a movie, especially a comedy. But he's good in this, and him and Nanjiani are the best part of it. They have good chemistry, and most of the humour for me came from them just insulting each other. I like that they include the most important part of any buddy comedy movie, that they contrast and learn from each other. Nanjiani learns to be more confident and Bautista learns to be more sensitive. Stuber is a simple movie that's fun most of the time. It's an okay comedy that probably could have been better given the chemistry between the two leads. It has a lot of weaknesses, but the ones that stand out to me are the setups of the characters, especially Bautista's cop. It became apparent along the way that I didn't know what to expect when our leads would eventually meet or how they would interact with each other. Nanjiani's is okay. It sets up pretty well that he's really pathetic and really needs his job, and he's timid and a pushover. But Bautista, I have no idea. Is he a good cop or a dirty cop? Is he by the book or renegade? Is he blunt and aggressive and filled with anger or prone to violence? Is he smart or an idiot? You don't find out until a good chunk of the way through the film, and even then it's unclear. All we know is that he really wants to catch the guy who killed his partner. It doesn't help that most things, but especially Bautista's character, are explained in exposition. There's a lot of exposition in this film. People keep telling him that he's a neglectful father to his daughter, but he doesn't come across that way. Mira Sorvino, who's in this film for some fucking reason, tells him about how he's been trying to catch this guy for ages and he's a good cop. There's a subplot about Nanjiani being in love with his platonic female friend that we can actually pick up on just from how the relationship is presented, but then the film conjures up a male stripper character to whom he can spell it all out anyway. The stripper thing is actually pretty funny, though. That whole scene is pretty good. It has a very contrived plot. In order for the movie to set up the premise of the cop and the Uber driver, it bends over backwards to get them together and then keep them together. Why would a cop use an Uber during a case? Because he just had laser eye surgery and he can't see properly. Why is he so desperate that he can't wait one day for his eyes to heal? Because the case of the guy who killed his partner is going to be turned over to the FBI tomorrow. Why would an Uber driver even agree to do this? Because if his rating dips below 4 stars, he'll get fired. Does he really need the money that badly? Why? Because he wants to open a woman-only spin gym with his female friend who he's secretly in love with, and they had sex one time but then pretended it didn't happen, but she just broke up with her asshole boyfriend and she wants to have sex with the Uber driver again, but if he doesn't hurry, she'll either change her mind or sober up and she'll get back together with her ex. Seriously, someone wrote that and put it in an action comedy as a ticking clock we're supposed to take seriously. Also, the thing about Bautista not being able to see properly leads to some of the oddest jokes. Not because they're weird or really unfunny, but because it felt like Mr. Magoo. He keeps hitting his head and talking to mannequins, and it all feels like a brand of comedy we all thought we'd left behind in the 90s. It's an action comedy, but it feels off. It's mostly pretty light, and then it gets serious and dangerous, and at times emotional and heartfelt. It almost seemed to be trying to achieve the same kind of comedy that Shane Black is known for, which is something that leapt out at me at the end of the film and the particular time of year that it takes place. It feels like they tried, but the action's not good enough and the comedy's not smart enough, and it doesn't handle the tone well enough. The action is just standard stuff, some shaky cam and quick cuts. They got Iko Uwais from The Raid because they apparently needed a guy who can fight but doesn't have to talk or act or really be a character of any kind. It does get a bit ridiculous how hard a hit this guy can take and then just walk it off. There's a scene where Bautista hits him over the head with a safe, and not only is his head not caved in, he just shrugs it off and keeps fighting. Who is this guy? Thanos? Lots of shootouts, mostly consisting of hiding, taking cover, and then shooting from behind cover. There's a car chase that had one funny moment in it because it was just so suddenly violent. The film's shot more like an action film than a comedy. It's quite violent, but might have benefited from being a bit darker. Maybe make Bautista's character more extreme in regards to him not being a rule-following, by-the-book cop. There's a twist that gets revealed halfway through the film, and then again at the end for some reason. The second time it's revealed, it's done in a way that seems like it was supposed to surprise the audience. It doesn't work because we already know, but also because the character it concerns is barely in the film, and so we don't care. The ending could have used a bit more. The thing with Bautista's daughter was appropriate, and I could see it coming pretty much from the trailers, but only because it's the sort of thing that would happen in a movie like this, not because it was set up well in this film. So I was expecting it, but it simultaneously felt like it came out of nowhere. I'm going to give Stuber a C. There's not a lot to talk about. It tries to be funny and it mostly succeeds. It's not hilarious, but there weren't any real groaner jokes either. The best way I can think to describe it is this: that it's a Netflix movie that got released in theaters. It's not a Netflix movie. It actually technically is a Disney film, but it feels like something that belongs on Netflix. I think it's a bit rich of Dave Bautista to say that he won't appear in the Fast and Furious films because he'd rather do good films, when he's appearing in stuff like this and My Spy, which looks like something The Rock would have done in his early career, or Vin Diesel in his early career, or Jackie Chan in his later career. Thank you very much for watching my review. Please like and subscribe. It helps me out. It helps the channel grow. Follow me on Twitter at Look to the Movies. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought of Stuber. If you liked it, disliked it, agree or disagree with any of my comments, or if you have any comments of your own. I'll be back soon with more reviews, and I'll see you then.